What's up guys, welcome to Vintage Genetics, where it is all about classic bodybuilding. And today I'm going to show you some nutrition that I like to apply, especially when I'm cutting down and when I simply want to slim down my waist, not in terms of just the fat, but also the appearance. A lot of people have trouble with a bloating effect after eating. In the morning they're fine, but in the evening they're very bloated. And this is partly due to the food that you eat, and mostly it's the types of vegetables and carbs that you ingest. So today we're going to create a meal that is very tasty, yet has a very low bloating effect, yet has the vegetables in there needed for the minerals and vitamins that actually help digest your protein as well. So it's all a win-win situation, so let's create the meal right now. Alright, so what I'm doing right now is I'm cooking away some basmati rice. This is actually going to be for 2 meals, so I'm prepping 2 meals right now. So 200 grams of basmati rice, very easily digestible. If you look at my Instagram, you can see that I'm always cooking delicious looking rice meals, and today I'm going to show you exactly how I do that. With these vegetables at least. These are low FODMAP vegetables, FODMAP vegetables. Now those vegetables, actually the name FODMAP is fermentable oligosaccharides, disaccharides, monosaccharides and polyols. A lot of difficult pronunciations, but what it means is difficult to digest carbs in your intestines. What happens is when they ferment, that's what the F stands for, it creates gases. The bacteria in your gut actually ferment the vegetables, and the vegetables actually stay there, are much more difficult to absorb because there's a lot of gas in the way, and then you will be bloated because of the extra food that's still digesting in your intestines and the gas that is being caused. So if you recognize these symptoms, definitely check this video out, look how I'm making these meals, and see what else I recommend for you to get rid of the bloating. But yes, these are 2 example vegetables that you can use. A lot of people don't like these because they're green, they're boring, but you can make them delicious for sure. This is a zucchini, very low FODMAP. This is a cucumber, very low FODMAP. But what you can also use is some pumpkins, as you can see. It's more difficult to actually prepare, but you got to put it in the oven, then you get a lot of pumpkin. Here we've got some carrots, also very low FODMAP. And to your surprise maybe, well, we've got some, actually some bell peppers, but also a low dose of broccoli is also low FODMAP. So that's what we're going for. And hey, look what's happening here, guys. If you're distracted, this is what happens. Hey. Anyway, yeah. That happens even to, you know, a bodybuilder like me. But let's get started on this. Let's cut this into little cubes. I'm going to try to have about 200 grams of vegetables per meal. So I'm going to try to get the 400 grams of vegetables out of this meal into the pan. Right, so we are done with cutting up the zucchini and the cucumber. And the rice is actually already done as well. Just cooling it off a little bit. I wash this. Make sure to wash it because every vegetable from the supermarket has some contaminants on there. Plus, people touch the vegetables, so that's not what you want in your mouth. So let's put this in a pan. But in the pan, I put some oil in there. And the type of oil is about, you know, around 15 grams of coconut oil. And the reason they use coconut oil is firstly, it is a very high cook temperature. So if you use olive oil, it might actually go bad, go rancid, and that is not good for your intestines. This stays good, even on high temperatures, and it has some extra properties that are good, antibacterial actually, for the bad bacteria in your gut, which actually enhances digestion, and it's, you know, has a nice taste. It has to be it still has to have the smell, because then you know that it's the right kind of coconut oil. So let's put this in the pan. Gonna put the heat up just a little bit and stir fry it. And then we're going to start to add the herbs. But to be efficient, we're going to add some fish to the pans right now to make sure that they're done at the same time. This, as you can see, is pangasius. It's frozen. This is usually the kind of fish that I get, either codfish or you know, fresh codfish, wild salmon, tuna steak, trout, stuff like that I always get. Then put in a pan and let it simmer off nicely so it's cooked slowly. It's still frozen, and that's what I like to use. So let's show you what it looks like in the pan. As you can see, it's quite a lot of fish for this pan, but I already put a heat on already. Put it quite high actually right now, because it's still entirely frozen, and this will shrink up and it will fit inside the pan. So sure, you can always put it in the oven as well. But we're already going to add some spices and herbs to this. But make sure that even if this is a low FODMAP, the herbs and spices you add could actually mess up your meal. So don't add stuff like onion powder. Don't add stuff like garlic powder. And you would want to add stuff like turmeric, like Laos. This actually looks like ginger. And this is a ginger itself. This actually reduces the gases that could be caused by protein. So this is something you want to add for sure. But you can also add the fresh version of it, which is even better, of course. So let's add some salt and pepper to this fish to at least enhance the flavor a little bit. And we're also going to add the special seafood seasoning. And I got this actually in America in Whole Foods, and the ingredients on there make sure that it's pretty much very low FODMAP and very delicious on top of the fish. So let's put it on, and it'll be a nice stew once I put on the lid and let it, defrost and let all the flavors enhance the fish itself. Just look at how beautiful that looks. Now these vegetables are enhanced with the coconut oil. Now we're going to add a little bit of broccoli that I actually pre-cooked already, and that'll make this meal even more complete, even more voluminous. As you can see, it's a little bit of broccoli, already pre-cooked it yesterday. Stir it up a little bit, just like that. And because cucumber is a very watery vegetable, you want to put the gas pretty high, because if you put it too low, it's simply going to leach all the water out of it instead of actually fry it nicely, and then you're left with a watery dish, which is not what you want. So now let's add the herbs. Now there is tons of stuff that you can use. As you can see, I've got a lot of herbs right here, a lot of spices to choose from. But what I like to use is actually Miss Dash. And all this is a simple seasoning blend with a lot of different herbs in there. And always look at the back. Now, of course, there's onion in there. There's black pepper, parsley, celery seeds, and all kinds of stuff. But you have to know your own tolerance for the ingredients on the back when deciding the spices. Because as you can see, there's onion in here, so you might not want to choose this one. And then you're pretty much left with stuff that you have to do yourself, like the Laos, the ginger, the turmeric, right there. And just take a look at how more appetizing this looks right now after adding the turmeric, the Laos, and the ginger. And I actually added some salt as well. And this salt. This is actually sea salt with iodine in there. And iodine, if you don't eat bread, is a mineral that you might not have enough of in your diet, but it actually enhances your metabolism. Basically, your T3, T4 levels and your thyroid need iodine to properly work. So put this in, make sure to get a salt thing like this with iodine in there to make sure that you get enough of that in your system. But now let's add the rice to this entirely incredible meal. So I added all the white rice, 200 grams of uncooked white rice transformed to about 600 grams of cooked white rice. And I also have a fresh parsley, little plant right here, which I put in there as well for extra taste and health. Some nice minerals in there, and let's mix it up and show you what it looks like. Look at this, guys. Wouldn't you agree that this looks pretty tasty and pretty perfect? The rice has become yellow because of the turmeric. The vegetables are still nice and green, keeping their vitamins and minerals. And this is just amazing to eat. And a lot of people make the mistake of not adding enough salt, which is just a shame because you need the salt to contract your muscles. Sodium is needed to contract your muscles, so don't forget to add either just some sea salt or the other salt with the added iodine that I showed you to make every meal you make so much more delicious. And the fish, as you can see, has shrunk quite a bit. A lot of water has leached out of it. That always happens. But once this fish is done, I will add it to this meal and show you the end result. And then we end up with these two fully prepped meals, which taste, trust me, amazing. Of course, the white fish frozen never looks the best, but trust me, when you eat it, it looks like, you know what, in your mouth anyway. So, this tastes amazing. It is very easily digestible. It has a high amount of protein. Right here are the macros. You can see enough protein, quite a lot of carbs for a high carb day, enough vegetables, a high amount, a medium amount of fat, the perfect meal, digesting very easily, no bloating, no gas. And if you eat meals like this, and and again, you can eat a lot more different meals with different vegetables, different carbs, different protein sources. And this is just one example, and I will make a lot more examples for you guys to variate with. But yes, these are the two meals that you can make with the ingredients that I just showed you. So yes guys, first of all, don't be afraid of adding salt or spices to your meals. A lot of people just eat the white fish or the chicken with the broccoli and the white rice without any spices or herbs, while they are even advantageous to add. So don't be afraid of that. That makes your meal so much more delicious. Make sure to know which vegetables you can eat. And again, search the FODMAP list. And low FODMAP foods you can see in a list that you can choose from, and all the vegetables that you just noticed and that I just mentioned are in that list. And you can also see what vegetables you should not be eating if you have trouble digesting and have a lot of bloating and gas. But eating meals like this will not cause any bloating, not cause any gas at all. So tell me what other meals you want to see. I am for sure going to make some more rice meals just like this with different variations. Also, how I make my oatmeal in the morning will be shown. And just a lot more coming to you guys. In about a week, I will start my official prep for the Arnold Classic Ohio, which will be incredibly awesome. Looking forward to it for sure. Anyway, guys, I just want to thank you for watching. A lot more content is coming. And yeah, don't forget to stay golden.